So our next speaker is an external speaker again. Name is Giuseppina Menconi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sorry for that. Giuseppina moved to Switzerland from London in 2012, where she actually was working as a quantitative trader. So lots and lots of numbers. She has a PhD in computational chemistry. Lots of numbers. And she has a degree in mathematics. Lots and lots of numbers. You can see where this is going. Lots of numbers. Somebody really is very much quantitative oriented. So what she's going to talk to us about is mathematics and anxiety. Is it a myth or is it reality? Welcome to the stage.
Thank you very much. Hello. How many times, as a mathematics teacher, I enter in my classroom the first day of school to meet my new students, and I hear the following comments. Sorry, miss, this term we will not be friends. I do not understand mathematics. Sorry, miss, I like how you teach, but I hate mathematics and I will never pass your exam. Or more. Sorry, miss, I need to ask you a stupid question because I never understood mathematics. And again, sorry, miss, I think I have understood it. Now, miss, are you sure? And finally, the most important. Sorry, miss, why do we need to study mathematics? Well, all of these questions are strictly related to the very common mathematical myths that we are all used to hear since we start going to school. Let me give you some examples. Men are better than women in doing mathematics. Is it true? Or the second one, some people have a mathematical mind, some don't, just because they don't understand the logic behind it. Or another one, mathematics is not beautiful. Well, all of these comments, all of these myths made me wonder why mathematics has to be perceived in this way from some people, when for me, mathematics has always been one of my best friends when I was a child and I was learning how to count, playing with my dad, or until a few years afterwards, when I was competing with my dad to see who was finishing the problems first, or it was always with me when I was studying to become a computational chemist, not to mention when I was working as a quantitative trader, and above all now, that after moving from London to Switzerland, I decided to become a mathematics teacher. So, these are the reasons why I decided to start to do my own research, and today I want to share with you some of my thoughts. So first of all, let's go back to these myths. Are they true? Come on, of course they are not true. Let's start with the most important one. Women are not less able to do mathematics than men. There is no scientific proof. No investigation has ever shown something like that. If a man or a woman are exposed to the same kind of education, they will have the same kind of result. So forget about that one. The second one is about the mathematical mind. So we have some people who just hide themselves by saying, no. I don't have a mathematical mind, so I don't do it. Well, they just don't understand the logic which is behind mathematics. And maybe they believe in a miracle, like in this slide here. So, well, this is not exactly the case, because this logic that seems to be so dry and so boring for many people, in fact, is very fascinating. It is the one that mathematicians are using to explain the surrounding around us. So mathematics and logic are just a quest for order. The same order that some mathematicians sometimes use also to explain some beauty of nature, like, for example, this Romanesco cabbage, where every single sprout of it is just growing, following a Fibonacci series. So mathematics is everywhere. So what is the first message that I want to give you today? Do not believe these myths. They are only leading to a lack of self-confidence. And self-confidence is the main word for us today. Let me give you an example from my personal life. A few years ago, I was in London. It was day one as a trader. I arrived in the bank. I called my boss and he said, yeah, Giuseppina, come upstairs, 3rd floor, single lift, small door. I went. I opened the door, and in front of me, there was this huge, massive room with bells ringing, people screaming, shouting orders from one side to the other, telephone beeping, microphones. I was like, no, I cannot do that. So I was exactly as one of my students when they come to my class, the first day of school. So what did they do? I had two choices, either to run away or to give it a try. And in that moment, I realized that I was not alone, because next to me, there was my manager. He was there. He put me in the spotlight from the first day. So I was submitting order to my brokers day one. He put me in front of the algorithms and the equations that were regulating all the software that we were using to generate our orders. And I did it. And I can tell you that I never felt insecure. Not because of myself to start with, but because of him. He was there to facilitate me. He never gave me the impression that I was doing something wrong. He was there. And remember the word facilitate, because it will come back in a few minutes. So, I can say that there is no secret in order to solve a mathematical problem. The only secret is yourself. So you need to believe in your abilities. You need to forget about all these feelings of anxiety, of panic, tension, my white brain, like my students sometimes describe themselves when they are facing the exam. Forget about it. Try to overcome these symptoms, because all of these symptoms exist, they have been classified, and they are recognized as a real phenomenon, which is called mathematical anxiety. So I'm already answering my question. Yes, mathematical anxiety exists, and it is a reality. It is a reality at such an extent that if we think about some research that have been made already available, some studies have been carried out by scientists who took a sample of children between 7 and 9 years old, and they did an MRI scan of their brain when they were solving a problem. And guess what they discovered? Children that were scared react in a completely different way from people who are not. And by different, I mean the emotions that they were measuring were extremely negative. So different parts of the brains were activated. This is fascinating. But at the same time, it's scary, because we are talking about children that now are children, but in few years will be young professionals. And I really think that it's necessary that we try to fix this problem. We need to fix it from the root, from the very beginning. And what can we do? Well, there are different ways. First of all, we need to understand where this fear comes from. And research, again, has proved that it depends very much also by the background that you receive since you are a child. So for the parents who are here, also myself, we need to keep in mind when we are growing our children not to transfer our own fear to them. So for every different topic, in this case for mathematics, so be positive. And the next question is, what can teachers do to change the life of the new generations? Because if we think the new generation of the future will have to choose a career, that we want to be the career that they want to do, not that the career that they decide to do because they are afraid of taking another direction. So what can we do to fix this problem as a teacher? Well, I'm doing exactly what my manager did with me the first day on the trading floor. I try to facilitate their learning. At the end of the day, I'm still a math teacher, so I cannot say that I don't go to the classroom and I start writing these loads of formulas on the board. Yes, I have to do it, because the rules are there, we need to learn them. But it's the way we transfer them to them that makes the difference. So I normally keep the time at the board much shorter than before. And then I divide my students in groups so that they can work together, they can discuss, they can make a mistake. The same mistake that before was a big problem now becomes just a new hint for a new discussion that can teach them more. So, what is the outcome of my talk today? The outcome of my talk is here. It's summarized in this little slide. This is thank you, Miss. Believe it or not, the same exact person that the first day of school told me, sorry, miss, sorry, miss, sorry, miss, at the end told me, thank you. Some of them passed, some of them didn't, but the main achievement is that the one, for example, who didn't pass it said, hey, at the end of the day, this course was not that hard. So he was not scared anymore. And then he told me, I think that next time I will do better, of course. This is a good memory. This is a good result. This goes along with another beautiful memory when I was teaching a class in multivariate calculus. And oh my God, multivariate calculus, such a word that is already making you scared the moment you pronounce it. And we were all laughing. So we were doing it, we were enjoying it, we were learning it. And they did very well. So I will always keep it with me as a great achievement from my teaching career. So, just to close my little speech today, remember, do not be scared of numbers. Numbers are your friends. The thing that you always need to remember is, yes, you can. Thank you very much.